Now we go back to our example. We saw the Visual Basic Editor, we saw the macros, we saw how to record and stop a macro, we saw also the macro security. Okay, so if we go now back to our macro, we say edit. Here we have the module 1 object with our macro. If, for example, we record another macro and we say macro 2, we can leave it as it is, and then I'm going to type A, B, C, home, background, blue, this color is this one, align, center, and I use this grid. Then I'm going back to developer and I say stop recording macros, and I see that I have 2 macros now. And I see that I have 2 macros now. If I go to whatever of the two, and I click on edit, I'm going to macro 2, which is saved on the second module because I am starting a new project, because I saved the file before I close it, and everything that was created in module 1 will be kept from the opening of the file until the closing of the file. So if I'm going to select another, if I'm going to execute, if I'm going to record another macro 3, and then here I say only DT, and then home, background, this color, I'm gonna developer, and I say stop recording macros. I'm gonna do macro 3. Macro 3 is still recorded within the module 2. So because these 2 macros have been recorded at the time that I open this file, so if I close this file again and then I record another macro, then automatically the program will create another module with the macro. And here we can see that I have 2 macros that I can choose from, macro 2 and macro 3. In the macro 2 we did something, and macro 3 we did something else. And here is the code. Very simple to see right now, but of course for you can be complicated. At the moment, just you have to understand some basic concepts. The first one is, if you go to the last macro, the macro 3, we typed TTT and we set a background. If you go back to the code, developer, Visual Basic Editor, we are here, we can see that at this cell, and I will show you what that means, dot property is equal to the text that just we typed in. Okay, at this cell, there is the selected cell, formula R1C1 is a property is equal to this. That means that in the formula of this selected cell, type this, then select the element in column G and in row 6. Here you can see these 2 are selected, G and 6 automatically. This is exactly our cell. Visual Basic Editor. Then I select this. There will be a set of instructions with the selected items. Once selected, is here, you can see. Change the name to selection. We will see that later in the next videos. Anyway, this is a range, which is an Excel object which has been selected, and once selected it will be turned into an object by the name selection, and I will get the property interior of this selection object, and I will check other properties. So you can see here I have an object with a property, and the object has a name. The property is specified by dot property name, and then I can go down, I can break down further on dot pattern, and then I will say it's a solid. This is an Excel constant which has a value, can be 1, 2, 3 or etc. But it's masked by this name. It has a pattern color automatic, Excel automatic, which means this is the color of the text that is automatically selected by the Windows settings, so usually it's black. Then theme color, if there is a color, the interior property, theme color, and other two parts that I just want to ignore at this moment, because for example if we say theme color, okay, because it's the color that we selected before. If I go back here, this color is in the theme color, is this one, but I want to leave this for the moment. The same was also when we selected this theme color, accent 1, the shade, and we set this, these cells as a format. So I'm going back to my example. I go to my Visual Basic Editor, Macro 2, we saw Macro 3, and we saw basically what we were doing before. So we type a text and we select the cell and do some formatting, that in this case was to change the color, okay, of this. In these other cases we also not only change the color of the background, but also the color of the font and also the border. If we go back, Visual Basic Editor, in this case we don't have this, but in this other case we have, for example, selections dot borders, and we set some styles. Here we have selection font, and we change the font color. Here we change also the horizontal alignment of the text and the vertical again, and the vertical as well. If you go into, for example, here we change the horizontal alignment of this text, setting it to center. Okay. If I understand all these things, so when I record something, I understand all this code, I can also do my own code next time, because this of course is specific. But let's say that I want to select this and do what I was doing here. If I'm running this macro, I will format this cell and not this one, and not this one, and not this one, and not this one. We will learn how we can reuse this code to do the same in other cells in the next videos.